Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ralph from Herald the Soon Coming King, broadcasting to you from the foothills of the Appalachians. Today is February the 9th, and I have a brief blog that I want to share. It's really a follow-up to the last one. We're talking about division in the country, and I want to just make a quick blog about Civil War. Also let you know that Pastor Steve Cioccolante, if you know him, is also saying that he believes that the Civil War will occur by the solar eclipse time frame. And it could be because of the states' rights and the issues that are going at the borders with the immigrants. So if you're interested, you could tune into what he has to say. But briefly, I have 4 or 5 words the Lord gave me over a period of time in 2021 when most of this came up. The first one was in January of 2021, January the 13th, that civil war would break out, and he gave me the picture that we've had, multiple civil wars. The first one turned out to evolve into a revolutionary war. But it was England denying the rights of the colonies. And from those seeds, there was civil war in the sense that there was one American against another. So those that supported England and the crown, those that were identified as Americans, and ultimately led into the Revolutionary War from England. The next Civil War occurs because rights were denied again, this time between individuals and states. And we went to a civil war in the 1860s. After that, obviously, rights again of the citizens, this time a specific segment of the population as it was in the Civil War, the African American population, where their rights were denied, and ultimately that broke out in a civil war of sorts in the 1960s as civil rights exploded all over the United States, and we had a type of civil war. And then the Lord impressed in my heart on that day that with the election between Trump and Biden, that it was that has sparked a civil war of sorts again. And these are about potentially rights denied that occurred. A few days later, on the 18th of January, I saw literally like a vision of a cap on an oil rig blowing off, and that there was pressure and things boiling below the surface. And then when it explodes, what explodes? Well, what exploded when the cap of the oil rig blew off was civil war. It was literally an uprising by the people, and the oil was gushing out of the rig, catching fire, and it couldn't be put out. And I believe that the Lord has shown me that the civil war in our nation would be like that it would just explode and that catch fire, and it would not be able to be put out. A few days later, on the 21st, the Lord again said that Trump would be part of those that led the opposition, and there would be civil war that would come from the result of that. Just again, a few days later, on the 21st, that there was a wave of destruction that would come, violent civil war in the streets, and that America would never come back, never fully recover, because her days were numbered. And so the Civil War would be part of America disintegrating. On the 28th was really the last time, so the month of January was just loaded with this topic of Civil War in 2021. And I saw that the nation's pillars were fracturing, and that if we didn't repent as a nation and turn from our evil ways, then it would develop into a civil war, and then from there we would develop into a full revolution. And in that sense, the country would have come full circle, as it were, where we had a division amongst its people that led to Revolutionary War, and that we would go through a civil war of sorts in the United States again, and that would lead to some kind of revolutionary war type of thing, where brothers pitted against brother again. I just wanted to share that with you, that out of that division, the seeds of civil war have been sown. Excuse me. We are in that, and more of that would come in a more violent, specific way. Part of that is because of the spiritual entities. I've made a brief mention of that, and think that's where I'll go in the next more detailed blog, talking about the demonic forces, the principalities that are in control of the United States, what's happening behind the scenes there in the demonic realm to influence our nation's leaders, the people, and what that's going to bring about, and what some of our pushback / roles will need to be during that time. So that's it for today. Just very brief, letting you know that the Lord is saying that there is civil war here and coming, and its full fruits would be more revolutionary. But again, take heart. God is in control. His will be done, not only in this country, but in the world. The final chapters of time are being written, and as we see these events unfolding both in the United States and on a global scale, we can take heart that God is bringing to pass those things that need to come to pass so that it'll set the stage for his ultimate return, which is our blessed hope. So look up, because your redemption draws near.